This is MLS Report.
We're back after tonight's big games, and we had a lot of interesting things go on today, from injuries with Inter Miami to masterclass performances by some of the league's best. Let's walk you through what happened tonight. Starting off with the recap of the game of the night, Nashville versus Orlando. And this game, it got off to a slow start, honestly, because Orlando was dominant, but not dominant enough. And Nashville's defense was not very good. But BJ Callahan was a beast. He held them to 0-0 the whole game. And it wasn't until the last 30 minutes that Orlando City really started pulling away. And I thought Orlando City should have put more goals away. The final score, 1-0. Next up, we had Inter Miami playing Montreal, and honestly, I thought this was going to be a blowout. I was watching that game, and it was not a blowout. In fact, it was a snooze fest. It was a complete snoozer. It wasn't until an ambulance came on the field and I started really paying attention. This game was not very good, and Berterame may not play for a couple of weeks because he got injured pretty badly. He went up for a header, and the defender did not know that the ball and Berterame's head had a difference, I guess, because the defender headed his head, and I think he broke his skull because the way that Berterame was laying on that floor did not look good. It was scary. I've never seen an ambulance drive across the field like that before, but it happened today. Berterame, I hope you get better. I tweeted you out. But 1-0. Suarez scored a little penalty, a little chinky-dink penalty. That's his second penalty in 2 games. Next up was the game of the night, in my opinion. It was Son Heung-min and LAFC as they destroyed Sporting Kansas City in a 3-0 win where it was 3 goals in the first half and already over. Buonga got that goal, Son got a goal, and Martinez even scored a goal. It was a goal fest in the first half. And that wraps up tonight's best game. And honestly, the game of the night could have gone down to the LA Galaxy and Marco Reus as they were taking on San Jose and the Earthquakes. And I said this game was not going to be very good. Well, I lied because I turned this game on and I thought it was a better second half than the LAFC game. It was 1-1. It was close the whole time. It was aggressive the whole time. In the final 2 minutes of the game, I had no idea who was even going to win. Chances after chances. Even the goalkeeper started playing. He started running out of his box with the final minute of the game. I was like, what's going on? This game is crazy. I would say this is probably second half game of the night besides the LAFC game. Both LA teams on a performance, and you could kind of say San Jose is part of LA. So all 3 LA teams get a 9 out of 10 for me. I would say Inter Miami got a 3 out of 10. And tonight's big game, I would say, was honestly like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't very good. But let's do some quick fire as we finish off the night. Although I didn't watch the full game, I did watch most of the games. And this is my insight for most of the games. And here's the scores. Charlotte took on New York Red Bulls earlier today at 6:30, and Charlotte got the win, as I predicted, 2-0. New York had gotten a red card late in the game as well. Columbus took on Cincinnati, and this was actually my shock of the night, believe it or not. Columbus won 2-1 against Cincinnati, and I honestly thought Evander was just better, but they weren't. They also got a late red card. Don't know what Cincinnati's doing. They need to start playing better. DC United played Toronto. I did not watch this game. It finished 2-1, DC United. Next up, we have New England as they faced Atlanta in a complete nuclear explosion of a game. New England turned up the nos on this one as they put up 4-1 against Atlanta in Atlanta. That's crazy. Miguel Almiron, he still scored a goal coming back from the World Cup, but it wasn't enough as New England was just a better team. I called it too. Matt Turner had a great game. Moving on. New York City FC faced Chicago. You wouldn't believe this, but what I had told you in the pregame of my boy Lewandowski starting? Well, that did not happen. Lewandowski was benched. Yep, benched. I don't know what the Chicago guy was doing. I mean, I do know his name's Gregg freaking Berhalter. He's a terrorist. If you can call FBI, I recommend you calling it on him because he may have started World War IV. Not even 3. They had to skip 3 because it was so bad. It was 3 goals for New York City as they destroyed Chicago. And Lewandowski, he still came on. He came on in the second half. Again, I don't know what Berhalter was thinking. I don't know if Berhalter needs to turn on some tape or something, but I suggest him to go type in YouTube and type in Robert Lewandowski and put goals. I'll tell you what, there's going to be like 500 goals that are going to come up. And I want Berhalter to look at that film and say, how does he score here but not on my team? Yeah, okay. Berhalter needs to be fired. Next up, Houston, as they took on Austin FC in a derby game, the Texas Derby, a little cowboy-style derby, North Texas Derby. It was and unfortunately, it wasn't very good of a derby. It was a 3-0 derby, more like a Spanish derby. If you're familiar with the running of the bulls, well, Houston was like a bull right through Austin. It was painful indeed. Next up, we have Minnesota against Vancouver. And honestly, I don't even know why I put this game on. I put it on for like 10 minutes. And this game almost made me turn off the rest of the games because it was horrible. I understand Vancouver fans and being upset about losing Sebastian Berhalter because this team has no physicality without him. In fact, they don't even know where to move the ball without him. This game got today's snooze because it was a snooze for leave me alone. Don't bother me. Snooze. To wrap up the night, we had St. Louis FC as they took on Colorado for a 1-0 win. I called it because St. Louis always scores random goals, and they score a lot of random goals. They should have scored more goals. There was a red card early for Colorado, and they just couldn't put any more. Colorado still has a good team. Paxton Aronson played well. It was a nice 1-0 win. Next up, Philadelphia took on Seattle, and USA needs to be scouting or sending their scouts to this game because this guy's Cavan Sullivan, 17-year-old. Well, he was the best player on the freaking field. In my opinion, that guy is next level. That guy shows why he got signed by Man City at 15 years old. And he shows how in the MLS he continues to dominate. I just wish the coach would just give him the ball. Just only give him the ball like Messi. So that way he can go score the goals. Philadelphia only won the game 1-0 against Seattle. I called this game. I don't think Seattle's very good, but they're sitting up pretty high. It was supposed to be one of my snoozers, but, it was better than expected. And finally, we have San Diego as they took on Dallas in what was a mediocre game at best. 1-0 for San Diego. And that's the report. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, this is MLS Report signing off.